want to talk about Kim Petras. We've had to cover a lot of the Sports Illustrated stuff this week, but I want to talk about it because I think what it does is that it proves that whether you like it or not, the woke marketing works to keep it in the news cycle.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show you why I think that. So we have Kim Petras, who's in the news because they're saying the backlash over the fact that it's a trans woman on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Mary made the comment to me the other day. She goes, 82-year-old woman or 25-year-old man, you get to pick. Those are your choices, right?
Yep.
Okay, so here's the problem. So this also has so it has Kim Petras, it has Martha Stewart, it has Megan Fox, and it has this other woman who I have her name right here. See, that's what I mean by that. Her name is Brooks Nader. I wonder if she's related to Ralph Nader. That'd be cool. So the thing is, so the Kim Petras one is about the fact that she's trans. The Martha Stewart one is about the fact that she's old, that she's an older woman and she's breaking barriers by being on a cover at that age. The Megan Fox story became about body dysmorphia, and then you just have hot woman, and just hot woman is apparently not marketable enough that you can't just lead with that anymore. You have to have some grievance story or some socio-political hook behind it just to keep it in the news cycle. Because
some blue hair fatty will get on the internet and complain.
My favorite thing yesterday was cutting up fat shame into a clip.
I mean, there is some virtue in fat shaming. Not a lot, because you don't. I mean, it sucks that people are getting their feelings hurt, but sometimes people need to get their feelings hurt.
Oh God!
Crisis party.
Crisis party. It's Ian.
Beer.
It's Ian running.
Jesus. You contribute to this.
Yes.
Pardon me? I did contribute to this.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Unmistakable.
I still have no idea what he was saying. All you got to do is party for. What was Ian partying for? Is that what he's doing right now? Is he off partying? I need to know.
I don't.
Where is he? I need him back.
Dude, what I don't comprehend about this culture is that no space is deemed appropriate for men only.
No, it's not really a thing.
No publication, no form of entertainment, nothing.
Nope.
Nothing is acceptable for dudes being dudes.
Yeah, and there is a reason for that. They literally want to take those things away from masculine men, because masculine men are the kind of people that don't need to rely on the government. They need to rely on the government the least. They need to have secure borders, they need property rights, but they're capable and have agency of going out and acting in the world. And they're also the ones that are the hardest to convince that they don't have agency, right? Like if you are trying to convince people that the people need your help, you have to convince them that they can't do things without you. And that's one of the things that you get from all the collectivized kind of ideology, the idea that you don't have this ability to do things on your own and stuff like that. That's something that is intentional, and it's because the government wants people to be, dependent on the government.
And I think how you get there is because when you're a man, there's like this age from 18 to 23, 25, where you abruptly learn that when you make mistakes, it really stops being cute. Yeah. And no one, and I mean, absolutely no one gives a damn. Yeah. And that's either when you become a communist or when you just do your thing. Well, it seems.
And I'm going to go through some of what they say here. So they say it's definitely a scary time. This is her talking about it. She says it's definitely a scary time to be transgender in America.
You're scared.
But there's also so much more representation than there's ever been. And there's so many things to look at on the bright side. She told about the swimsuit cover. She was talking about the onslaught of anti-LGBTQ legislation popping up across the country. She goes, I do feel a pressure sometimes to represent the trans community with everything I do. That's one of my problems I have with most of these belief systems and ideologies, that everybody has to represent a larger cause rather than just celebrating the fact that you can represent yourself and yourself alone. Like, I myself don't speak for anyone but me, and I don't want to be representative of a larger group. I don't want to be a spokesperson for middling 5'5" American men. That is just...
Well, you are, bro.
I don't want to be. I do not want that responsibility. I leave that on Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's 5'7", so...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I had something I was going to say and I lost it.
So it says, so these are some of the comments that come out about this. Somebody says, except Kim Petras is not there because of her popularity with Sports Illustrated readership, but because Sports Illustrated editorial despises its readership. We've seen that recently with other such companies who do seem to have middle management that want to fundamentally change the audiences of the people buying their products through hostile takeover, no less. It's never done cleanly, efficiently, nor is it ever done by laying it in slowly over time. It always seems to be this onslaught that comes all at once because they want to shock you into just accepting it, and if you don't accept it, you're a bad person, when really it's just basic economics. You make products for an audience, you have a target demographic, and you try to fulfill the needs of that target demographic. But whether it's comic books, whether it's beer companies, whether it's Sports Illustrated in this economy, are looking for that phantom new audience to expand their growth potential. And that's just right now with these companies, what they're doing is they lean into the fact that there's ESG backing to a lot of this. So even if it fails, they're kind of saved and cordoned off from any type of ability to fail. It really does feel like a lot of these companies are too big to fail sometimes. Like you can lose all the when what was the one before Bud Light? There was another controversy. Was it Hershey's or something? Right when that scandal happened, and somebody shared like all of the companies that are under that corporate umbrella, and I was like, you're not getting away from all these companies. Skinny Pop was on there.
Yeah, old money, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like you're not getting away from all of it, and it's all so intertwined. Another user curiously accused the publication of Mind R Word. That's Mind R Word. The goal is to trick hetero men into sexual desire for other men.
Dude, I mean, and they're gonna do it. They're gonna get it. It's becoming increasingly more difficult to the extent I have deepest sympathies with like single guys that have to navigate all that field.
Another spoken in defense of Petras, chastising haters. I don't see what hurts you about trans people. It doesn't affect you on social media, one user said. The amount of trans hate in this thread is unreal. This has become the new norm. It's like, why do you care so much? That's the new big one. It's to say, why do you care so much to everything?
Why are you talking about people's genitals? Yikes.
Big yikes. Why
See,
do you,
I'm telling you,
why do
nothing.
you care so much?
Listen, nothing good comes after yikes or the word discourse.
Yeah.
If someone says yikes, let me tell you about that discourse. Leave the room immediately. Save yourself the lawsuit.
What about rhetoric?
I don't think it's as bad as discourse.
Okay. But beyond,
I do feel like discourse, it depends on how it's being used.
new discourses with James Lindsay?
Yeah, because Lindsay, it's like, I do think that discourse is a functional word. And if you are, it depends on the person. It does. It really does. In my opinion.
Agree to disagree on that one.
Okay.
All right, so I just wanted to point this out because then we also yesterday we talked about Martha Stewart. That was a big thing because look, they're getting support from both sides here because yesterday we were defending Martha Stewart because we're like, look at these losers who are telling her that she shouldn't not eat bread.
Yeah, dude, fat shaming an 80-year-old.
Like
brother.
So they're getting support from centrists. At least I would consider myself fairly close to being a centrist, right? Like somebody like me who'll support the Martha Stewart thing after coming around. They got the other side supporting Kim Petras, and it's really just outrage marketing at its most advanced when you just woke market, because then they go down and they talk about Megan Fox, where she says she comes to terms with body dysmorphia and says like, I never saw my we all know what that means. Says, I never saw my body the way other people saw my body, and they're just like, well, that story's not quite hitting the same as these other bigger stories. So they've worked their way down from trans ideology to old lady bathing suits to gender to body dysmorphia to then just hot lady in a bathing suit, and it requires all four if you want to stay in the news cycle for more than 3 days.
I mean, it's hard out there to get clicks.
Yeah, dude. I remember I was watching old episodes of The West Wing, and they're talking about like the length of the news cycle. They're like the weekly news cycle, the 24-hour news cycle. I'm like, it's a 1 minute news cycle now.
I mean,
it's not even a day. It's less than that. You're going in chunks. Like sometimes you get the layoff where it's like Friday at 5 p.m. something comes out because they want it to die over the weekend.
Dude, West Wing is intellectual.
I love The West Wing.
Porn for libs.
It is.
Like
I
the amount of dumbass libs that think that that's actually how it goes down, instead of them being prostitutes for whatever person's gonna pay for their next campaign, is honestly pathetic.
I mean, but the thing is, I love that for the same reason that I love military dramas. It's like, I understand that it's propaganda, but I like it when it's done well. You know, like I don't watch I don't watch any type of military or cop show and expect that cop is actually out fighting for truth, justice, in the American way. I believe that they show up to clean up the mess and crack jokes, eating donuts. I'm kidding. I'm half kidding there. I'm just saying that like all of the best military cop shows, they're all kind of a form of propaganda. The only ones that probably aren't are probably the firefighter shows. Maybe those are the only ones that are actually kind of true.
I mean, I feel like I said, I think we talked about firefighters the other day. Firefighters are you know, I don't want to ever hear people hating on firefighters. Those guys really, you know, they put their ass on the line. So I don't like the idea of hating on firefighters.
The Karlin Borisenko for a while was doing a video series called like watching the West Wing after taking the red pill, and I thought that was kind of I thought that's a clever idea, right? Like you've seen your view of the world change. Go back and rewatch this show that informed your beliefs before.
Once you stop believing the news, your whole world changes. And I
for the better and worse.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Was
true.
it Sid Molyneux said like, I wish I could vomit up the red pill. I do feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are days where I just wish that I could just hack it up like a
my God.
bulimic.
I mean, just now, the stuff that's going on with the Durham report and stuff. Yeah. The fact that all of the things that have been pontificated about and all of the things that were suspicious essentially have been confirmed in that. That means that the federal government and a Democrat establishment suppressed information and put their finger on the election. Yep. Right? So they affected it. I'm not going to say anything that is YouTube no, but like they were, they were trying to, make people's opinions a certain way. And the government is not supposed to have an opinion on who's in the government. Yep. The government's not supposed to get a say. So the FBI and the CIA and the Department of Justice, they're not supposed to have an opinion. They're supposed to be apolitical and just follow the law. And now people have literally accepted that happened.
Did you see the thing about like a Zuckerberg company buying like warehouses where ballots are stored?
So I don't want to touch that. No, because I don't want to touch that stuff because that gets into stuff that YouTube is not cool with. Okay. Because
I'm just saying I read something. So I didn't make any comments.
So if I can move the conversation to something else. So the metaphor of pill I love, and here's why. So we've divided two almost ways of existence into the metaphor of pill. There's the blue pill and the red pill.
You just take both.
And it's kind of assumed that you have to take one, and that is your perception of life. However, that is life if you are drugged. Yeah. Can I be sober?
Yeah.
Well, can I be sober? Can I not take any of these pills? How is life without either of them?
I mean, in a lot of ways, it's not even a fair representation anyways. I still consider myself very much a liberal in most respects, right? So it's like, what does it even really matter, right? I also want to point out that there's a fantastic story here. If they had wanted to be uplifting and tell a great story, hot lady number 4, Brooks Nader, it says, I was so excited and overwhelmed. She said, my whole family flew out for a week-long celebration. She won like a competition to beat out 10,000 other people. What about overcoming the odds? Where's the story about overcoming the odds to be the hottest one in the room?
No, because winners are bad.
I know. You can't win these days.
Victory sucks.
Only victimhood is good.
Exactly. Everyone has to win. So everyone comes out even, or the victim wins.
And this is why pop culture is suffering. The swimsuit covers are now the gauge for how bad the television and the news and how all of it is making our lives suffer because the swimsuit covers are suffering.
That's interesting that you mention it. One of my favorite video game players, he's like the most famous Street Fighter player of all time. His name is Daigo Mihara, and he has a book called The Will to Keep Winning. And the concept of that book is that when you win, one of the concepts it discovers very. When you win, you are stealing someone's dream.
Yeah.
So, because everyone wants to win.
Yes, you are. You selfish.
How dare you?
So to be a winner is almost to have the respect for yourself that by the way, because if they win and you don't win, you can have that empathetic moment of like, oh, you know, he wanted it really bad. He worked really hard for it. Are they doing that for you? You know, and so the will to keep on winning is the ability to set aside things like that, to set aside like the emotional impact that you can have on someone when you literally steal their dream from them. Yeah. And I thought that was such a compelling point of view, because this guy is the man. Yeah. And when you win in fighting games, you are humiliating people. Like it's an interesting, because just like fighting in the I mean, obviously not like fighting, I leave unscathed. Yeah. But in fighting, it's like, well, one guy's gonna leave triumphant and the other guy's gonna go to the hospital. Yeah, but like it's like people in MMA talk about, like, there's a lot of respect in just getting in the ring and competing. Yeah. Like, and a lot of it nowadays is like people don't even want to get in the ring, and so therefore there's no respect given across the board because they're not getting in the ring to compete with other people. I'm just saying that we could have put her on the cover and everything would have been fine. Things would have been great. We could have been a country again if we had done that. But you know what? They didn't want to. So it's almost like there's a pop culture crisis going on. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.